Hi, I'm Kate with For the Love, and today we're going to talk about prepositions to tell when and where in our Learning to Write program. I'm going to start by selecting the topic in our table of contents. That takes me to a teacher page. This lists different prepositions you can use to describe a place or a time, a when, a where, or a when. Then we get to another preposition page that you can display to your students or just use for your own reference. And here is a student page. They are going to be given a noun or a pronoun and then a verb, and then they're going to use a prepositional phrase to tell where an event happens. Let's look at the information at the top. We can use prepositions to add information after the verb. Some prepositions tell us where the event in a sentence is happening. Prepositions are one word, but we usually use them in phrases. So those preposition lists I gave you are just the first word in a prepositional phrase. Students are going to have to add information. This is another thing we're going to have to explicitly go over with our students. They will not automatically know how to do this. So as you are completing this with your student, you will talk about this word is the preposition, but we add more information after it to create a prepositional phrase. So you could say, I live near my school. It could be, I live near the zoo. It really doesn't matter what information we put after it. So you're going to complete this page with your students. You can either print it out and give it to them, or they can copy the chart into their writer's notebooks. Then, with that chart, students are ready for sentence practice. Notice they have been given a word bank, articles, nouns or pronouns, verbs, and prepositions. Not all sentences will need an article. If you are having a pronoun in your sentence, you will not start with an article. If you are having a plural noun, you can choose to use the article the. Also, in the last lesson, students were given explicit present, past, or future verb tenses. Here they are just given present tense verb tenses, but they should be able to change those into past or future to write different sentences. So really we are getting to the point where students are being given just general information in the word bank, and they're needing to change it to fit the sentence that they want to write. If this is too much for your students at this point, you can create another word bank that has more specific verbs or nouns that you want your students to use. Also, I have given students 5 prepositions to use to write their sentences. You can give them more prepositions on an anchor chart or another word bank as well. Students also have the mechanics checklist on the side. We want to make sure they are always writing their sentences using proper mechanics. Here are some sample sentences that you can provide to students to show them how we use prepositional phrases to add more information to a sentence with a noun and a verb. Now we have a list of prepositions for when an event happened. And we are going to go through the same process. This is the student page where they are given a noun or a pronoun, a matching verb, and they need to add a preposition and a little bit more information for a prepositional phrase to tell when an event happens. You will want to go through this exercise with your students as this is new information. Once they have the information in this chart, then they are ready for their sentence practice, where they are given a word bank and they can write sentences. Again, they might need to change the nouns to plural nouns or singular nouns. They will change the verb to the right tense that they want to use for their sentence. They are given the prepositions, but they will need to add more information to tell when the event happens. This is not easy sentence writing. Definitely, students are having the opportunity to be more creative, but it will be more difficult for them. So you will want to keep an eye on them as they are writing these sentences to make sure that they are doing it correctly. That is it for prepositions to tell where and when events happen.